But your point remains, no one trusts the government.
Point being, why would you trust your kids to be educated by the government?
Right. Voddie Baucham said, don't be surprised when you send your kids off to Caesar and they come back as Romans. Like, that's it. That's it, man. You're wondering why everyone's gone woke and has no idea what bathroom to use anymore. Just if like, what happened to our kids? I'm like, well, you gave them to the government for their entire childhood. You saw them at dinner and you attended their sporting events, but the government raised your kids and social media helped. You saw them every day, but you didn't raise them. You didn't log enough hours each day to counteract all the poison and time wasting and ideological propagandistic crap that they were getting fed year after year after year. And so millennial generation and now Gen Z has gone woke. And we feel like, oh, what happened to my daughter? We raised him better than that. No, I mean this in love, but you didn't raise him at all. That hurts to say because I know it hurts people to hear, but the government raised him. And that's what happened. Government and social media hijacked a generation. And we trusted that they were being taught good information that wasn't undermining our values. But there's been a psyop in play for decades, which is undermining our values and waging war against the family unit.
What do you think the goal is behind that?
Control.
Control of everything?
Yeah, I think the people in power want one thing. It's what all people in power have always wanted for all human history. The people in power want more power for longer.
Who do you think the people in power are? How deep do you think this goes?
I think a lot. One is the ones you see are the puppets. There are politicians there. Who's dangling those puppet strings higher off? Powerful companies that you've had enumerated on this channel and billionaire, trillionaire types around that want to control in the shadows like that. And you see their fingerprints everywhere with all the woke stuff that actually has a very formal funding mechanism behind it. It's not just a groundswell of what people want. It's actually being pushed from the top down on culture, forced on culture, quite literally. In our school systems and in our corporations, it's being crammed in. And so you can't see that and not deny that there are folks who have really figured out over the last 50, 60, 70 years how to perfect tyranny in a model that doesn't lead to some of the upsetting overthrows that their forebears of Mussolini and Pol Pot, Mao, Hitler, of like, they had the control that these globalists want, but they were also targets and they had uprisings against them. How do you control people without ever being a target and while giving them the feeling of collectivism so that they feel free, but they aren't free? Orwell thought maybe it'll be by force you'll do it. Aldous Huxley thought, no, you rule them through their desires, through dumbing them down, by allowing them to entertain themselves to death. You can control them indefinitely. And so what they did is like, oh, we'll take some Orwell and we'll take some Huxley. We'll blend it together in a massive psyop so we can have massive amounts of power and control forever. The thing that would stand in the way of it, a few things of like, one, religion. Religion is the thing that, won't bend a knee. It will unreasonably not compromise. And so if you eliminate religion, people will worship politics. If they hold out religion, then there's something higher than politics that holds politicians have to be, or world controllers have to bend the knee to, and is in competition. That's why Marxism or any tyrannical communistic system immediately moves to eradicate religion, because totalitarian control cannot exist while there is a vibrant and widespread religious faith going on.
I think that's very hard for Western culture, Americans in particular, to wrap their head around. Yeah.